Hello, this is the trade site Forex Market Preview and International Economic Data Roadmap for the week beginning Sunday, the 4th of November and ending Friday the 9th. It is time change weekend in the U.S. Everything will shift Saturday night going into Sunday, get us back in sync with the normal hours in Europe, which has been off for a couple weeks now. So sometimes that takes a little bit of adjustment in the markets to line up the technicals, so just be aware of that. Here's the daily chart of the dollar index, broke to new highs and then came back this week. Let's go through the daily charts. Euro dollar, just the inverse, basically broke to lows and came back. Pound dollar, near the lows. This could turn into a nice inverted cup and handle, and a breakdown there could be ugly. The Aussie dollar bounced back sharply on Thursday. Euro yen slowly rose for the week. Pound yen bounced. Pound Swiss bounced, and the New Zealand dollar pair bounced. So a lot of them up all on Thursday, really, for most of these pairs. Let's look at the 30-minute charts for the week. High to low on the euro dollar is only 160 pips. Monday and Tuesday. Wednesday were pretty dead. Thursday was the move back, and Friday there was a little bit of action. Pound high to low for the week is much bigger, 350 pips. We had almost a 200 pip winner on Thursday here in the pound. It was great, but Monday was flat, obviously. So good to see something finally, as things have been light for, I would say, a couple of weeks out of the blue. Usually Forex is not slow this time of year, but I think all the concentration has been on the stocks and futures markets with all the activity there. Obviously, we have the election here in the U.S. as well on Tuesday. Let's take a look at the calendar. AIG Services Index out of Australia Sunday night. Japan's monetary policy meeting minutes. MI inflation gauge out of Australia. Commodity prices out of New Zealand. The Caxton Services PMI number out of China. Spanish unemployment change. Centix investor confidence. UK's got their services PMI. U.S. final services PMI. U.S. ISM non-manufacturing PMI. Household spending out of Japan. Retail sales monitor out of the UK. Australia's cash announcement. That's the rate announcement out of Australia. Going into Tuesday, German factory orders, Italian and French, all of the European countries, final services PMI numbers, and then the broad European one, 10-year bond auction out of the UK, PPI out of Europe, building permits out of Canada, GDT price index out of New Zealand, JOLTS job openings here in the US, IBD tip economic optimism number here. We got 10-year bond auction. We got the AIG construction index out of Australia, the employment change, the unemployment rate, and the labor cost index out of New Zealand, inflation expectations out of New Zealand. Japan has leading indicators, German industrial production, Swiss foreign currency reserves, Halifax HPI out of the UK, Italian retail sales and broad European retail sales, German 10-year bond auction. IV PMI out of Canada, mortgage delinquencies at some point in the second half of the week here in the U.S. Crude oil inventories, 30-year bond auction. By the way, I think these numbers are an hour off because this Forex factory site doesn't adjust until the time change over the weekend. So I think everything's 1 hour off in what it's actually going to come out. 4 p.m. Eastern time, the New Zealand rate announcement. So we got Australia and New Zealand with their rate announcements this week. Bank of Japan, Summer of Opinions, bank lending, core machinery orders, and current account, trade balance out of China. Economy Watcher sentiment out of Japan, the unemployment rate out of Switzerland, French and German trade balance numbers, Spanish 10-year bond auction, French 10-year bond auction, housing starts out of Canada, unemployment claims, that's the weekly number here in the U.S., natty gas. We have a rate announcement of the Fed on Thursday. Boy, so a two-day meeting starting on Wednesday, and now the announcement's on Thursday. That's new. So we got a rate announcement here in the U.S. Interesting. Money stock out of Japan, RBA monetary policy statement out of Australia, home loans out of Australia, CPI and PPI out of China, and then going into Friday, money supply and new loans out of China, GDP out of UK, along with manufacturing production, construction output, goods trade balance, index of services, and industrial production. U.S. wraps up the week with PPI and Michigan sentiment. So a lot of rate announcements. Those are the core things, and then the election on Tuesday. Maybe that's why the two-day Fed meeting is Wednesday, Thursday instead of Tuesday. Interesting. Charts as usual brought to you by eSignal. If you've not yet taken a trial of our services, feel free to do so. We will help you out for a couple of weeks. Have a great trading week in Forex.